The second beta for Marvel Tokon is officially over, and we have to talk about both the good and the bad about the game, and I want to give this game a fair review because we all want a new Marvel fighting game to be the best it can be, right? But there is an insane amount of discourse online saying that this game is trash, that it has no sauce, that Avatar is better, which is not necessarily the best comparison, but I just want to talk and discuss what could be the future of this game, how we can make it better, and what is already really good actually. So let's get into it. And well, let's actually start with the bad things, just to kind of, put them out of the way. And even though I had a ton of fun with this game, and I think that it's great actually, there is some things that I would like to see change. And the first one, and the most obvious one, is the auto combos. Like, the auto combos in this game are absolutely nuts. I've been, actively trying during the beta to learn, like, the best combos I can and actually lab against the CPU and then hop online. And still, if people do the right auto combos with the right sequence of resources, they can get the same or even more damage than you trying to actively get, like a real quote-unquote combo. So I think that the auto combos need to be nerfed. Like, we need to tone down the damage in the auto combos. We also maybe need to put some restrictions on how to connect them, when to assist and stuff like that. Just tone them down because they feel really strong, and they make the game a little bit trivial depending on who you're playing against, and how you can deal with the auto combos consistently. So yeah, I think that's kind of like the biggest gripe that everybody has, and I actually agree with it. The auto combos are too strong, they need to be nerfed, and ideally not only the damage but also the utility of the auto combos, because I don't know if we need another game like DVFC in which the auto combos have like a specific, active utility that you can use to end tier, to create frame traps, to have like free mix-ups. Maybe that's not necessarily what this game needs, so I would change it, but I'm not sure. That's a different take depending on who you are and what you like, but I would personally like to see the damage toned down and also the utility. Like, I don't want auto combos anti-airing me, stuff like that. So yeah, that's the first big thing that needs to change. And then the second thing that I would like to see change in this game is actually the way in which assists work, because even though I think that the idea of having 4 characters and all these assists with roles and everything can be super unique, and it is really fun when it works, it actually feels a little bit clunky, specifically because since the game has this system in which you can only do assists fully on neutral or on hit, there is no in between. It kind of feels weird when you try to use the assist, because for example, if I'm playing Captain America and I throw my shield out, I can't really call an assist. Like, the assist doesn't come out unless I actually hit the opponent on block or on hit, or I'm not doing anything. So it is kind of weird to not be able to cover yourself in some situations with the assist when you do a move in neutral that you are like not necessarily trying to actually hit, you're just trying to take up space. And that is a very basic and kind of like, franchise thing when it comes to tag fighting games. Like, it's a part of the legacy of the subgenre, so I would like to see that change. Like, we need to be able to use assists, on neutral without actually not doing anything. We can actually press a button or do a special move and get the assist. We need that. And then the other thing that I would personally do, maybe this is gonna be controversial, but with my experience with the game, is that I would like to be able to call normal assists on combos. Like, I don't want to be forced to use the combo extender assist that is universal, that every character has in my combos. I would like to have maybe an extra button, even though the button layout of the game is already kind of big. I would like to have the option to actually call an assist like the one that I will get on neutral when I'm not doing anything, but in my combo. Like, I would really like to be able to do that. I think that it would create infinite creativity with the combo structure of the game, and the way in which you can extend and create very beautiful combos. So in that sense, I think that it is very relevant to see how we can adapt the tag system to feel more fluid, to not feel as clunky and not as restricted. And also, we need to buff doing active tagging combos, like tagging in. We need to incentivize for people to actually do combos with their full team. And if we're gonna do that, maybe we buff the damage a little bit, maybe we lower the combo meter even more when we active tag in with the next character instead of just doing the assist to extend the combos. I think if we take those two big topics, right, the auto combos and making the assist system overall more fluid with some of this feedback, this game would be absolutely nuts. It would be one of the most fun fighting games ever in the tag fighting game genre, because everything else seems really good. So hopefully some of these changes actually happen. I don't know if they will, but that's kind of my personal feedback and opinion about what I would like to change in the game, that to me is bad or at least debatable and could be changed depending on who you're speaking with. Hey, just in the case that you've been enjoying this content until now, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to support the channel. I'm gonna keep covering Tōkon, and I cover many other different fighting games, and that's something that we like over here. So if you enjoy that, consider supporting the channel. And now let's keep the discussion. And now let's actually talk about the good things, because I actually have a lot to say that is good, man. Like, I really enjoy playing this game, and I feel like it's a game that has a lot of depth and like a lot of nuance both in neutral and in the combo system, but it can be like harder to grasp or understand what you have to do to, you know, get all the potential on the game. I feel like this game is kind of like harder to get into maybe than other newer like modern fighting games when you compare it to maybe something like 2XKO or Street Fighter 6 or even Tekken 8. I think that in many ways, even though this game at the start can feel like mashy because of the auto combos, and it can feel like it has less nuance than other modern fighting games, I feel like it's actually the opposite. And what's gonna happen is that when this game comes out and people actually have, you know, resources to lab and they play on training mode a ton, like this game is gonna be pretty nuts. I think that it's gonna be quite crazy and have like an amount of layers into layers of options and like micro decision making that is gonna be insane. So that makes me really happy, because I really wanted to play a game like this, and I do believe that that is gonna happen. That's gonna be the case. We are not gonna get a game that is gonna just stay in like the auto combo, you know, system that it is now, where everyone just is mashing their controller. I think that's not gonna happen at all on release. So I just want to see how exactly, you know, how crazy this game can get when the right people have time to lab and things start to get, you know, understood at a bigger and higher level. I think it's gonna be nuts. And then there's also even more, like for example, the netcode of the game is really good. I'm currently in Europe, and I played against people, you know, on purpose in North America because I wanted to try the netcode out, and everything went perfectly. I didn't have, you know, lag at all. And I'm even playing on Wi-Fi, because on the place that I'm right now, I can't get a cable. Like, I just have to play on Wi-Fi, and it worked perfectly. So the netcode of this game is top tier, like it's up there, man. And that's great news, because when you have a game like this that you want to play a ton, of course, and you want to hop online and play with your friends or maybe just rank up, I think that having good netcode nowadays is just key. And it's kind of like the basic, you know, level of disappointment when people have a game with bad netcode. So thank God that that is not the case, and that this game actually has really good netcode functioning rollback. And then the last things that I wanted to say, kind of like as final thoughts also, is that the overall aesthetic of the game, like, you know, the visuals, the graphics, the concept art of the game, and also the sound design and the music is really top tier. I think that this is one of the best looking fighting games, you know, of the last 5 years, when you start from like the Street Fighter 6 era and the Dragon Ball FighterZ era upwards with all these new big modern fighting games. This is up there. Like, it's a top 3 looking fighting game for me. It looks incredible. And then I really like the sound design, and to me one of the things that makes, you know, a franchise like Marvel vs. Capcom so unique and so iconic, it's not only the gameplay and the visuals, it's also like the sound memories and the music memories that you have with those games, like the sound effects, the way in which hits work, you know, the way in which the music synchronizes with the game. And the same is happening to me when I was playing the beta of this game. Like, the music is top notch, the sound design and the effects of the hits and everything that's going on is also insanely good, and I'm super happy because I really appreciate that part of making a fighting game, and I think that they really nailed that. Like, it looks insane, the sound design is insane, and I'm super happy for that. And then the final point is that I actually really dig the character designs, both visually and gameplay wise. I feel like it's actually really hard. Like, Arxis is not on a good position necessarily making this game, because they are against, you know, the legacy of MVC as a franchise, whether they like it or not, because this is a Marvel fighting game and it's the next big thing. And they actually, to me, did a great job redesigning some very classic like Marvel characters that we have already played in MVC. For example, I love the way in which they made Captain America a relatively simple like Shoto character, but they made the shield like, you know, wall splat and all these things, and like it goes all over the screen and you can control the shield and hit it back. Just that, like a small, you know, nuance in the kit of the character makes it feel incredibly unique and fresh. I also love the design that they gave to Ghost Rider. I like it more than the one that Ghost Rider had in MVC personally. And Spider-Man also is such a fresh take on what Spider-Man was on MVC in comparison to this. So I'm actually super happy with the way in which they are dealing with designing these characters again and going against, you know, the legacy of this huge other fighting game franchise that they just have to, you know, fight against. Whether they like it or not, people are gonna compare it. And I think that they did a great job. So yeah, that's kind of like my review of the beta. I personally think that the game has insane potential and that it is not necessarily as easy to understand right away. So a lot of people maybe are gonna have like heavy criticisms of the game at the start because we don't really understand what's going on, and it's not as easy to grasp, as I said, as maybe other games, and we kind of need training mode, to be honest, specifically in a game like this. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, of course, to support the channel if you can. Leave a comment with what you think is gonna be the future of Tōkon. Hopefully we get an announcement in the Game Awards with more characters. Keep enjoying fighting games, and see you on the next one.